What's up guys, it's Bye here and welcome to my first Genshin Impact character review videos. A 1.1 update was released yesterday and we got a new 5-star hero character, Tartaglia. So let's go right into some of the information I think you should know about this new character. So one key skill for Childe is that he can apply RIPTIDE status on enemies. So how can he apply that status? Method number one. He can apply RIPTIDE status on enemy with a fully charged aim shot. So let's give it a try here. So here you can see a whole bunch of enemy here. Doesn't have any status on them. So let me do a aim shot here. Oops, I got hits. But I just do an aim shot on that guy and he got a RIPTIDE status now. Let me try again on the one of the slime here. If I can hit them. Oh, I missed. There you go. So I got a fully charged aim shot again on that slime. And now it has that RIPTIDE status effect there. Method number two for applying the RIPTIDE status is that like after you unlock his second passive skill, I say right here, when he is in Foul Legacy, a Raging Tire, if his normal and charge attack do a critical damage, he can apply RIPTIDE status on the enemies. Let's say right here, or if, but I think that was something wrong with the translation. You have to do a critical hit when you are in this stance. So let's give it a try here again. So as of right now, I am using my bow. I am not in that raging stand there. And let me wait for that RIPTIDE status to go away. So no more RIPTIDE status here. And let me switch my stand here. And let's see if I can pull a critical hit there. So that was a critical hit. And you can see that like all of those guys get that RIPTIDE status there. Doing another critical hit there. And all of the enemies getting the RIPTIDE status now. Because of my second passive skill. Whenever he is in the Foul Legacy Raging Tile, and if you can manage to do a critical hit, you can apply the RIPTIDE status on the enemies. So how long the RIPTIDE status lasts for? So without hits of passive skill, the RIPTIDE status lasts for 10 seconds. And after you unlock his first passive skill, the RIPTIDE status will last up to 18 seconds. So what's so good about the RIPTIDE status? If you attack on an enemy with a RIPTIDE status, you can deal additional damage, like a lot of additional damage. So for example, if you're using his first skill to attacking on an enemy that affected by RIPTIDE status, you can either deal a RIPTIDE flash damage or RIPTIDE burst damage. So for you to be able to do RIPTIDE flash damage, you need to do a fully charged aim shot on a target that affected by a RIPTIDE status. So let's give it a try here. And how much damage I can deal. So for RIPTIDE flash damage, I can deal 21.1% times 3. So this is skill level 9. Just keep in mind, it's not a skill level 1. So let's give it a try here. I'm gonna do I need to switch the stand. And let's do a fully aim shot on this guy here. So you can see it do like kind of a AoE skill damage for like it got hit like 3 times there, as you can see. Let me try again here. Yep, you can see the skill, right? So you got the target getting hit 3 times there for RIPTIDE splash damage. RIPTIDE flash damage. So a fully charged aim shot that hits the same opponent again, you can deal that RIPTIDE flash damage. And if you kill a target that have a RIPTIDE status on, you can inflict RIPTIDE burst damage. Defeating an opponent affected by RIPTIDE, create a hydro burst that inflicts the RIPTIDE status on nearby opponent. So you can deal AoE damage to nearby opponent as well as inflicted RIPTIDE status on all of them. So RIPTIDE burst damage 100%, 105.4% damage here. So let's go and give it a try here. Let me try to kill this guy here. Oh, that is splash damage. And now one more shot, I should be able to kill him. So he died, and then I was able to deal the burst damage there. And the two enemy beside him got inflicted with the Riptide status again. So that is how you gain additional damage from Riptide status from his first skill. When he on his second skill, when he on the melee stance here, he can also do Riptide slash damage. So there are like Riptide flash, burst, and slash. So in this stand, he can do slash damage here. Hitting an opponent affected by Riptide with melee attack, unleash a Riptide slash that deal AoE hydro damage. Damage dealt by this way is considered elemental skill damage and can only occur once every 1.5 seconds. So there is an internal 1.5 second cooldown here. And the splash damage, you can deal 103%. So 103% splash damage there. So let's go and give it a try. So we got two guys inflicted with a Riptide status here, and if I hit on them, they're going to do that splash damage. There, you see that again, splash damage. Same thing here, splash damage. Splash damage, Riptide splash damage there on target that inflicted with Riptide status. There you go. So that's how you can deal additional AoE skill damage, and it can only apply like every 1.5 seconds. So you don't see that damage like happen all the time, right? So that is another way for you to deal additional damage if the target is affected with Riptide status, and his ultimate or like burst skill can also do additional damage as well on target that affected by Riptide status. So like if he is on his melee stance and he using the ultimate skill, and the target, like if the target is affected by Riptide status, he can perform Riptide blast. So we got flash, slash, and blast. Riptide blast can deal additional 192% damage. So if you on a melee stance with the level 8 ultimate skill here, you can do 742% hydro damage, as well as additional 200% Riptide blast damage here. So let's give it a try here. So I am on my Riptide stand here. As you can see, additional blast damage there. Additional splash damage there from the ultimate skill. So that is why it is very, very important for you. If you want to deal more damage on the target with your burst skill, you gotta make sure that the target is inflicted with Riptide status before you cast your ultimate skill. So you can either use like a charge shot on the target so that it get inflicted with the Riptide status, and then you can switch to a melee stance, and then you can cast your ultimate. That is how you can maximize on the total damage output there. Okay, so what artifact you should be using on Childe? So if you look at his ultimate burst skill, he can deal a pretty high burst damage. So when he is in a melee stance, he can deal 742 skill damage plus 192% Riptide blast damage. That is with a level 8 skill burst damage here. So that like almost 1000% damage there at level 8. I would say pretty high. Or when he using the burst skill in a range stance, he can deal 605% skill damage. Plus, he gain back 20 energies. So that if you keep using his ultimate in the range stand, you can spam it very often. Plus his second skill, it convert his attack to a hydro damage, so he can regenerate the energy very, very fast for him as well. So because of how often and how high his burst damage is, you want to get 2 pieces of Nobles. 2 piece of Noblesse for elemental burst damage. So you get 20% elemental burst damage there with 2 piece sets. And because there is no Hydro artifact set at the moment, you want your other 2 pieces to be 2 Gladiator for that 18% attack increase, so that it can increase both your skill damage and your normal attack damage. So those are the 2 sets that I recommend you guys to get. For artifacts, there are two artifacts pieces you want to look out for. One is a cup. You want to get Hydro damage bonus on the cup, definitely, because he can deal a lot of Hydro damages. As for the battle mask, you want to get a mask that can give you like critical rate increase. That if you don't have like a weapon that can give critical rate. Let's say if your bow have a critical rate already, the battle mask you can go with more attack instead of more critical rate. But if you don't have like a weapon that gave you that like critical rate increase, you want to have the main stat on the mask critical rate increase. Because of his second skill, Foul Legacy, Raging Tide rely a lot on critical hit. Because like whenever you do a critical hit, you are going to be able to inflict the Riptide status on the enemies because of his second passive skill. So you definitely want to build him somewhere around like 50% to like 60% critical rate increase. So that is the reason why for artifacts, for the battle mask, you definitely want to get the critical rate increase for the battle mask there. If you are not even close to that 50% critical rate for your characters, so definitely go for the critical rate increase if you don't have like a weapon that give you critical rate bonus. So what is the best weapon for Childe? In my opinions, the Stringless is probably the best weapon for him. Even though the substat is not like attack increase, it's elemental mastery, which can help increase that elemental reaction damage. But what you want is elemental skill and elemental burst damage increase here. So like at the weapon refine rank 5, you can get up to like 48% elemental skill damage and elemental burst damage here. Like 48% is very, very high, I would say. Especially consider like how often you can spam his ultimate skill and how often you can spam his ultimate skill here and how high his how high his second skill is. Like you can do a lot of skill damage. You can see right here, a Riptide Slash is also considered as skill damage, so it will also get that bonus from the Stringless special effect there. Let's go back to the list of weapon here. So yes, like in my opinion, the Stringless is probably one of the best weapon for Childe, because he can use his skill very, very frequently, and his ultimate can just be spam all the time. What's second? Second best weapon for him is probably Skyward Harp can be a very good weapon for him as well, but it's like a 5-star weapon, which is very, very difficult to obtain. I don't recommend going for weapons that have an energy recharge, because you don't need energy recharge on him for sure. Rust can help as well. It have very, very high attack, so very high base stat and very high sub attack as well, which can work. And it help like if you focus on more like normal attack, it can help with your normal attack damage as well. So I guess it's not too bad if you go with the Rust bow as well. But in my opinion, the best one is the Stringless. Second best is the Skyward Harp. And the third one is Rust. So those are the 3 bows that you can use on Childe. Okay, so what is my final thought on Childe? I think he is a very decent, would say very pretty good characters, I would say. he have a very high burst damage, and you can dish out a very high amount of damage in maybe 30-second time spans. I think whenever he activate his Foul Legacy Raging Tire, he's gonna be able to like dish out a lot of DPS. The only downside is that like with Zhao hits Foul Legacy Raging Tire, I think his DPS is not super high. Whenever this skill is on cooldown, you might not be able to deal a lot of damage. But again, like this skill lasts like 30 seconds. So like in that 30 seconds, like a lot of, if you build in 30 seconds, like if you build your character right, you should be able to deal like a lot of damage, and you should be able to take down a lot of like most of the boss in that 30 seconds. You can deal a lot of like hydro damage. You can casting a lot of like, probably you should probably able to cast your ultimate twice. If you in the Foul Legacy here, if you just keep attacking on the enemies, you should probably be able to cast the ultimate twice there. Like I would say the pros for him is that like he can regenerate the rage very fast. You can deal a lot of hydro damage on him. His hit burst can deal a lot of very high damage, and you can also regenerate a lot of rage, a lot of energy with his ultimate skill as well. And yeah, like I would say he's a pretty decent character. Like again, like he one of those characters that give you the best of both worlds there. You can either use bow or you can use melee. Not many character in Genshin Impact right now can give you that option to switching from like melee to range. If you want to switch from melee to range, you have to switch characters. So yeah, like he is a great character. Like he can do a lot of like damage in that 30 second when he is in the melee stance, I would say. That is when he deals the most damage. The only downside is that like, when that skill is on cooldown, you might not be able to deal very high amount of damage. So yeah, guys. So that is some info, like some information I have on the new character here. Thanks for watching the videos.